So, the title we're diving into today, You Are Not For You Always. I know, it sounds a little strange, right? But stick with me, because it points to this really fascinating idea about why we sometimes do things that make absolutely no logical sense.
And here it is, the phrase at the heart of it all. You are not for you always. It's kind of like a riddle, isn't it? The whole idea is that sometimes the things we do, well, they're not actually for us, even when we're convinced they are.
Just think about it for a second. Have you ever had that happen? That sudden, weird feeling? That pull to do something you can't really explain? Maybe you decided to take a different way home for no reason, or you just had to call a friend right then and there. It's that moment where your heart is telling you one thing, and your brain is going, wait, what are you doing? Well, according to the idea we're exploring today, those moments, they're not random at all. Nope, they're actually moments where the universe might have something else in mind, and you've just been chosen to be, well, a channel. So, what does that even mean, being a channel? Basically, it's when you follow one of those strange gut feelings, and it turns out it wasn't for you at all. It was to serve a purpose for someone else. You kind of become this instrument for a good thing to happen, something you never would have planned on your own. And this is where we see that internal battle play out. I mean, think about it. On one hand, you've got your logical brain. You're tired, it's been a long day, and all you want is an empty bus so you can snag a seat. Makes perfect sense. But then, there's your heart, and it's giving you this strange, illogical nudge to do the exact opposite, to go for that super crowded bus. And that's the moment, that's when you might be acting as a channel. And this is a really important point. When we follow that gut feeling and things go, well, totally wrong, like falling off a bus, it's so easy to kick ourselves and think, oh, I made a mistake. But what if it wasn't a mistake at all? What if it was actually an opportunity in disguise, a necessary step to make something else happen? Let's look at a story that illustrates this perfectly. It's all about how a simple, everyday commute home suddenly became something much, much bigger. Okay, so the story starts with a simple plan. A tired girl just wants to find an empty bus. But then she gets this weird impulse to try and get on a super crowded one, and it's a disaster. She falls, but what looks like a big mistake actually leads to a moment of kindness. The bus driver sees her fall, calls her up to the front, and helps her get on. This simple act puts her in the only available seat on the whole bus, right next to an elderly woman. And that's when she discovers her real purpose for being there. She overhears a conversation and realizes the old woman is being abandoned by her relatives. In that instant, her frustrating trip home transforms into a rescue mission. And there it is. That's the whole idea in a nutshell. The fall, the thing that felt like a total disaster, embarrassing and painful, was actually the most important part of the whole story. If she hadn't tried to get on, if she hadn't fallen, the driver never would have noticed her, she never would have gotten that seat, and she never would have been there to help that woman. The setback was actually the setup. So, what does this story really mean for us? It's more than just a sweet anecdote, right? It's a whole new way of looking at those unexpected twists and turns in our own lives. And maybe, just maybe, seeing them as blessings in disguise. So, what are the big takeaways here? First, that those unexplained feelings might actually be the universe nudging you. Second, what looks like a major setback could really be a setup for something important. And these chances to help someone, they're blessings. But it's not a one-way street. The idea is that when you're the one who's down, help will be arranged for you too. You just might be the blessing someone else has been waiting for. This quote really nails it. And what's wild is it came from a comment on the original source material. It is how we look at things that makes them seem difficult or easy. It's so true. The event itself, it just is. Our perspective is what paints it as good or bad. Falling off a bus can be a terrible mistake, or it can be the start of a beautiful story. It's all about how you frame it. So I want to leave you with this final thought. The next time life kind of pushes you in a weird direction, or your perfectly good plans just completely fall apart, take a breath. Instead of getting mad, just ask yourself, where is this trying to take me? Who might need my help right now? You never know. You might just be the answer to someone else's prayer.